could I do more for the city? And anything that's happening in the city, we see it in our emergency rooms, and the worst is now that the last couple of years, the shootings have just continued to soar. It's heartbreaking to see them coming through the emergency room at Children's Hospital. And when I was in the prosecutor's office, we had programs that were bringing down the violence and taking the guns out of the hands of the drug dealers. We had the lowest murders in 30 years, my last year in the prosecutor's office. I know what to do about the abandoned buildings. I was seizing them and selling them on the internet and get families to move into them. And this is ultimately the reason why I believe I'm qualified for mayor in a way the other people who might run are not. And there are some good people out there who might be candidates. And I say the same thing. Doing a financial turnaround is a very difficult thing. I did it at Wayne County, I did it at the Smart Bus System, I did it at the DMC, and each time it looked hopeless. I would ask you, as you think about your candidates, show me one financial turnaround they've ever done. Okay, this isn't the kind of thing you can learn from a book, because if you get it wrong, we are headed for an emergency manager in bankruptcy. And think about how many years it would take Detroit to recover from that. The cops have got to answer the calls. You've got to get the cops in the scout cars, and they have to respond to the calls. Everything starts with safety, right? We actually do not have fewer police than a lot of cities in this country. People think there's a shortage. We have 2,600 officers. Fewer than 1,000 are out in scout cars. Why? Because Detroit has an unusual structure, whereas most cities have civilians who are dispatching the phone calls, taking reports at headquarters and the like. We have police officers. And so most of our police officers are not on the street. And a cop with benefits averages $90,000, a civilian averages about $45,000. So people say, there's not enough money. Well, there's not enough money if you're paying people $90,000 to answer a telephone, okay? We don't begin to have the resources to deal with all the criminals, but if you were a felon with a gun, you went to prison. No plea bargain, no nothing. You were caught with drugs and a gun, you were gone to prison for 2 years. Shootings went down 30%, murders were down, and I had an agreement with the drug dealers. If you were caught in possession, we'd give you probation your first time on the condition that you cooperate with us. And I would meet with these drug dealers. And we didn't ask them to rat out an individual. They had to tell us about the trade. In my last year, they would complain to me that I was being totally unfair to them. That now what was happening in the city was that drug dealers were being held up in the corners because people knew they weren't carrying guns and they couldn't defend themselves. And they thought I was being very unreasonable in my policy that kept them from being armed. Now, I suggested maybe they want to go into another line of work. That's the first thing. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to get the lights on. And the third thing is we're going to go after these abandoned houses in an aggressive way. What happens today is the city will come in, it'll knock down one of the 4 houses and leave the other 3, right? And a lot of times they don't knock down the worst one when they come through. Well, by the time they come back 6 months later to take a second one, 2 more people have left. It made no sense. And so what I'm going to do differently is take what they're doing, except we're going to attack an entire area at once, take out everything. Cut the grass in the vacant lots, haul the abandoned cars away, take out the worst abandoned houses, sell the rest, bring the neighborhoods back that way. And everything that they're doing on the land bank, I'm going to put on steroids. We were filing 50 lawsuits a week on abandoned houses. I mean, that's how fast we were moving. You gotta stop bragging about the houses we're knocking down because these buildings have value. The problem is people don't want to live in the neighborhood. If we can get people who want to live in the neighborhood, we've got some housing stock we could reuse. And the most important thing is creating an environment where businesses want to be here, and I'll make the system work for you. If we don't make Detroit easier to do business with than Ferndale, we don't have a competitive advantage. So what I need to do is clear out the permitting processes, put tight timelines on them, get them done quickly, reach out to people, solve problems. I need businesses talking to businesses, saying the City of Detroit Planning Department is the business-friendly place to go. I can't tell you everything about the city's easy, but I can tell you that city government's going to be on your side. And we're going to flip it. And we're going to put people in there who have attitudes that aren't, the most important thing in the world is my rules, and if you didn't do it correctly, tough luck.
Listen, we're looking for service citizens in Detroit. White, black, whoever can do the job, that's what we're looking for. I'm looking for someone to pick up my garbage, who can protect me. White or black, whatever you can do. That's what I'm looking for.